some of you might have heard of the Solow Growth Model before. Um, it is one of the most important economic models ever made, precisely because it describes the steady state of capital owned by nations. So what is the steady state of capital, you might ask? Well, essentially, the steady state of capital is the long-term neutral level of affordable resources of a country. Okay, so it's a really powerful model precisely because it states that there exists some sort of flatline level of resources, and it's impossible for a country to exceed that level of resources. Okay? If you bear with me today, I'm going to take you through the derivation of the Solow model, and we will understand it over time. Okay? And then I will show you the relevance for the question. But first of all, the point that I mean, if you want the broad view of it, I think the key point really is it is important to have an understanding of some kind of flatline level of capital because that can tell you, we've spent our previous sessions talking about how resources is the biggest impactor, the biggest effector of your population's ability to be sustainable. So, and obviously that's all based on Malthusian theory. But the point is, this has very strong implications towards that. We are looking at a model that is all about resources. It is all about resources, capital growth. So understanding this model can help you understand whether or not we are under resource constraint. And recall also we were talking about how if the growth rate of the population is equivalent to the growth rate of the gross domestic product, then you have a stable GDP per capita, right? So that's something that that's something to kind of bear in mind because this is going to give you a very similar result. So I'm going to get my pen out to help us with this because it's important to go through this slowly. So we start off with the neoclassical production function, okay? Now, y equals f of k and l. That is a bit abstract, but all it's saying, okay, all it is saying is y is the output, GDP, aggregate, we can also call it the aggregate demand, okay, of the economy, okay? Y is that. I'll just put that up here. Then, K is the total capital stock. Call it the sort of machine inputs. So like machine supply. Let's call it the resource supply, actually. That's not labor, okay? Resource supply, e.g. machines, metal, food, computers, okay? K is the total capital stock. Now, L is the total labor stock, okay? So, in other words, the total number of, people working. Now, F, what is F here? Well, the answer is F is just a function. F is just a production. That's all F is. But there are a few assumptions about F, okay? So in other words, so just to be clear, F takes K and L as inputs, produces an output that is sold for income. So for example, F takes 3 units of capital and 2 workers and produces 10 and produces goods worth 10 in income. That's all it's saying, okay? So I hope that's kind of clear there. So really, the only other thing to understand is the law of diminishing marginal returns holds here, okay? So we also assume that increasing K or L increases Y at a decreasing but never negative rate. I'll just move this up so you can see it properly. Okay, so we'll just about fit it up here, sort of, I think. Maybe we'll have to do something like this. Sorry about this. So I'll just move this down. Oh, goodness. You're never going to get to see this. There you go. So these are all of our assumptions, okay? These are all of our assumptions.